Oh, today it's hot, really hot. As you can see, Oh, and I've started to do longer distances, so it's a bit tiring. But it feels good because when I started off, I could only do, I think, 2 rounds of half the distance. Now I'm doing double the length. Like before, if I would do just 200 meters and stop, okay? Now I think I'm doing 2 kilometers. So it feels good. Anyway, today I thought, given the fact it's December 2nd and the year end is going to take place. Every year end, I reflect on what has happened throughout the whole year because, I'm not a salaried employee. So I can't rest on the fact that, yes, I will get a guaranteed salary. I need to be prepared for the changes in the environment, and that's kind of good because it ensures that I stay relevant. And if you as an employee or you're a person who's working in an organization, you also need to do the same. Even if you're retired, you can't afford to rest on your laurels. Like, example I'll give you. If you're an employee and the company, let's say the market conditions are going bad and countries are losing revenue, and invariably it'll affect your country also, it'll affect your company also, and then it affects your departments, and finally it impacts you. That's how the dominoes go, And if you're retired, like I gave the example in Thailand, these Westerners from, let's say, UK, it was 98 baht to a pound. 1 pound, 98 baht. They could enjoy like anything. Today, 1 pound is 38 baht. So 1/3. So everything you have to reduce by 1/3, and they don't have any means to earn. So that does impact you. Okay. So whatever the case, it's always good to have a assessment of your whole year and evaluate it, So I'll give you, in this video, I'll give you 20 things that I would advise my clients for 2020. Okay, 20 things for 2020. And forgive me, for the first time I'm using a paper. I've just jotted down the main points because 20 points not easy to remember. Okay, so I've put it in no particular order. I just put it before running, spends a few minutes. So you can take it down, or I'll see if I can mention it in the description. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do for 2020 is get yourself a mentor. Okay, now I'm not saying this because I'm in the mentoring business. Rather, I'll give you a small example to make you understand. When I was in Dubai, I was, I was really fat. I think I was close to 101 kilo or something, really fat, because I'd stopped bodybuilding, powerlifting for a couple of years. My joints were aching, and I was very unhealthy. And I decided that I would, start keeping fit because everything was sagging, and I was eating like mad, and I couldn't even walk up the stairs. So I decided I would try, running or jogging. I was not able to do even, I think, not able to do even 50 meters, forget 100 meters. So finally I, like normal people, I searched Google, I searched the YouTube, and I started cherry picking the information, trying everything to improve my running. Then I joined a running group. When I joined the running group, well, I improved a little bit more. Okay, so after that, for the next, I think, 4-5 years, I was at the same speed. Like, I would be the last guy to finish the half marathon. Okay, 21 kilometers. So every time I would finish at 3 hours 30 minutes. And 3 hours 30 minutes is the shutdown time for the half marathon. I would be the last guy to complete. And no matter what I did, no matter how much I trained, I would always come in last. So I tried everything by myself. I took steroids. I tried bodybuilding, CrossFit, whatever I saw on the internet. I tried cherry picking small things. I'd ask people because I didn't want to spend money on a coach. Eventually, one day, one guy, his name is Santosh. He's a good guy. He's a good friend. He's in his 50s. He's a yoga teacher. He joined more or less the same time I joined, but he was whooping my ass, man. He was literally whooping my ass every single time. I was like, how the fuck is he getting better and better and I'm not? Eventually, it got to the point where I would finish at 3 hours, 30 minutes. He would complete it at, I think, like 2 hours, 30 minutes, like 1 hour ahead of me. And just to think about it, like initially when we joined together, I was racing him. But every year subsequent to that, he was beating me. And by the time the 5th year passed by, he was miles ahead. I was like, fuck. And then one fine day, we were just teasing each other. I'll beat you, you'll do this, you'll do that. So he told in front of everyone, the day you beat me in Loy, in a half marathon, my time, I'll change my name. Okay? And everyone laughed. And I kind of took it personally. It felt insulting. He didn't mean it in that way, but I did feel very bad about it. So now, when my ego was online, when I felt insulted, I was like, fuck this, I'm going to do whatever it takes. So because my ego was hurt, and because there was a sense of urgency, a new goal, I decided I would find a coach. It was not easy. It took me 3 months just to find one. And literally I found one after begging, pleading. I found an Olympic track and field qualified coach. He was expensive, $500 per hour for his sessions. But I didn't care. I said, fine, whatever it takes. You'd not believe, for the 5 years, all the money that I spent, all the time, all the energy, I was literally even pushing myself to run 30 kilometers just to run 21 kilometers faster. I was training 1 hour in the morning, 1 afternoon, 1 evening, sometimes 2-3 hours in the morning, nothing. But training under this guy, just for what do you call that? 6 months. I not only shattered all my previous records, I beat Santosh. I was the fastest that I ever was in my life. The fastest. Even in my maybe college days, I was not that fast. So the point I'm trying to tell you through this is, had I gone to the mentor, yes, it would have cost me money, but had I gone to the mentor 6 years ago, I would have saved 6 years of my life. I would have been faster and faster. I became a triathlete. After that, I became a runner, swimmer, cyclist. I became all three, and I became a triathlete only because of this coach. I didn't get along very well with him on a personal level. We had differences of opinion, but he was really good, and I have a lot of respect for him, even till this date. And I'll tell you, if I had to do it all over again, I would have taken a mentor. There is a lot of power in mentoring, provided you get the right person. And we have a habit of trying to save pennies, thinking that Google or YouTube will solve our problems. It doesn't. Yes, if you have a small headache or fever, fine, you can Google search and get the answer. But if you want a proper diagnosis, it's only through the power of mentoring. So, thanks to Jacques Sophie, his name is Jacques Sophie, for everything from what socks to choose, what shoes to choose. I never knew that you had to even choose a proper undergarment while running. I didn't know that what was the diet before and after running. I didn't know what was recovery period. I didn't know what was tapering down. I didn't know what was split training, fast training, slow training, long distance, short distance, circuit training. There are so many. So I owe this all to him. He gave me 20 years of distilled experience and made me a world-class amateur athlete, So the first thing I would tell you is invest in yourself. Get yourself a mentor if you want to make your life better. You just want to coast along like how I was doing for 6 years, fine, don't get your mentor. But if you want to see leaps and bounds of improvement, you need to get a mentor. But the only caveat here is what Jacques Sophie used to tell me. He told me the 100% we can achieve is if I give you 50 and you give me 50, then it becomes 100. Or you put in 100, I put in 100, becomes 100. But if either of us give less, it doesn't work. So commitment is required. So the first one, get yourself a mentor. Okay. The second point that I'd give for 2020 is money. Yeah, I know people say that money is not everything. Man, newsflash, money is almost everything. You get up in the morning, you go to work for what? Earning money. You invest in stock shares, cryptocurrency for what? Money. You send your children to school to get educated for what? Working. And for what is that for? Money. Everything we do is for money. So the second one is your skills of money, your focus on money, your whole life of money. Just focus on increasing what you make per hour. It's not working like if suppose you're working 8 hours before and now you're working 12 hours to earn more money. That's stupidity. Instead, what you need to do is if you are earning $100 an hour, now the goal should be 110 or 120. So you work for the same time, but you earn more money. That's smart. Or you're even smarter if you work less and earn more. So that's very important. And that's what I try to focus with my clients. You work less or you work the same number of hours and you earn more. So accept the importance of money in your life and learn. And it's maybe not just your workplace. Maybe you can have a side business, side hobby, side gig. And with many of my clients, I focus on this trait of theirs, working on a side gig. The third one is BHAG, B-H-A-G. It's the acronym for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals. What do I mean by big, hairy, audacious goals? Don't just have a goal. Have something really big. Something big that you can, fight for. Don't, over here, I would just say, use a little bit of common sense. Don't have like, I'm going to earn $1 trillion if you don't even have 5,000 in your bank account. Okay? So a big, hairy, audacious goal, I would tell, is something that's doable, but not easy. Let's say, for instance, you have been fasting for, I'm just giving an example. You have been fasting for 1 hour. Pushing yourself to the limit would be half a day. A really big, hairy, audacious goal would be fasting for the whole 24 hours. Okay? For a person who did 1 hour fasting every day, 12 hours is really like, wow. 24 hours is massive. Okay? In the same way, savings. Let's say you have 5,000 in the bank account. Pushing yourself would be maybe having 15. The real like wow factor would be 50. Okay? So, you decide what is your big, hairy, audacious goal and try to focus on that. I have had a couple of them in my life. Like when I started writing articles, the first big, hairy, audacious goal was 50 articles. When I reached 50, I said I would do 100. Eventually, I said I'll push for 1,000, and I did 1,000. In terms of savings, I had never seen $100,000. I pushed for that. I never did more than a few kilometers. I said I would do 50 non-stop. It didn't work out non-stop, but I did it in one single run. Okay, running, walking, jogging, whatever, 50 kilometers. So, sorry, 54. Yeah, 54. So, give yourself a big, hairy, audacious goal, just one. And I'll tell you, as you push yourself towards that and try to achieve it, it'll increase your confidence, your belief in yourself, develop new skills. It'll really help you. Okay. Point number 4. Oh, this one is, I would say, the most important or among the most important. It's your health. As you grow older, you stop getting fascinated for big muscles or being strong or invincible. When I was young, I wanted to show off with big muscles. You'd see Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, all these guys, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and you think, oh, the muscles, the girls will get impressed, six-pack abs. But as you get older, the focus is more towards health. Today, I'm very particular on keeping my sugar levels low, like not to get diabetes, blood pressure, checking the whole body for blood clots, or there are so many things. Like, I don't know if you are a follower of bodybuilding, but one of a very famous bodybuilder, Flex Wheeler, okay, yes, he used to take steroids and all that, but among all the bodybuilders, he was the guy who was very symmetrical, very beautiful, very perfect. Well, guess what? He abused his body, he never took care of it. And now he had to amputate his leg because there was no blood circulation to that part of his leg. At the age of like 50, losing your leg. I've known some people who are getting blind because of diabetes. I know people who have been smoking for years now. They can't think properly, they keep forgetting. I know people who have had to undergo hip replacement surgery. Some people find it hard to even walk because their back is so fucked up. So you need to take care of your health. I've even known people, good friends, who ended up getting a stroke and one side is paralyzed, So, and he's a viewer of my channel, so he knows me, I know him very well. So health is very important. So if you are after the age of 30, I would say, get a annual checkup, full blood sugar, blood pressure, heart, everything. And once you cross, say, 35 or 40, have every 6 months full checkup. Why do you think I went for a bariatric surgery? There was nothing wrong with me. Bariatric surgery, for those of you who do not know, I shrunk my stomach to the size of an egg. And the video is also there. You can just Google search Loy Machedo bariatric surgery. I made my stomach small because I wanted to eat less. That's the only way to lose weight. And that solved the danger for diabetes, blood pressure, heart problems, So health is very important. So focus on health. The next one is number 5. I always tell people, try something new every single day. Like, for example, many of you try a new cuisine, a new restaurant, a new place to go for a picnic. Some of you try, new fashion accessories, cell phones, more, smartphones. So we try new in these particular areas. However, I tell people, try something new in the area of skills, something new in terms of career, networking, education. You need to try something new, because the more new things you try, like meeting new contacts, meeting new people, it'll teach you new things. Like for me, I never in my life thought I would come down to Thailand. Never thought I'd get a single tattoo. If you tell me I'd get tattooed, I'd be like, shut up. Thailand was never on my list. Getting married to a Thai girl was never on my list. So when you try something new, you automatically find out, sheesh, I kind of like this. And you can only do this when you're young. When you get older, you can't try something new. So I would say try something new every single time, okay? Number 6 is a Stephen Covey principle. If you have read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it is sharpening your saw. Sharpening your saw, long story short, I'll give you the example. 2 guys were cutting a tree. One guy was busy whacking the tree, whacking non-stop, large tree. The other guy, what he did is, he was busy sharpening it, making the blade sharp, so that when he would start cutting the tree, it would be easier for him. So the other guy ended up with a blunt axe, while this guy was sharpening his axe, was able to get through double the output. So I would just say that, sharpen your saw, learn to get new skills. But I would go one step further and say, instead of you just sharpening your saw, why don't you get yourself an electrical saw, motorized? It would, increase the output by 10 times. So for that, you need to learn new skills, okay? And today, in a day and age of social media, internet, use these applications, use this information that is there in your hand to help you. Then point number 7 is, this one's good for people in the corporate world. Your network. On Facebook, Facebook, LinkedIn, we have a habit of collecting new friends. When you go to business meetings and all that, we collect business cards. On our phone, we just increase the number of contacts and their numbers. Emails, also same thing. Have you ever gone through your contact list and figured out who is who? I'll tell you, if you've never done it, you'll be shocked, because you'll realize maybe 50% of them have either changed their numbers, changed their jobs, or you don't remember who they are. I cleaned up 5,000 business cards, people, individuals. So let me see what my dog is doing. He's busy. Okay. I cleaned up more than 5,000. Today, what I do is every month or 2 months or 3 months, once, I'll go through all the names and numbers in my phone, and I'll delete the ones I do not know or have not contacted. Because why am I collecting them if I don't know who they are? Facebook also, sometimes I just delete people I don't know or I don't remember. It's good. It's not more the merrier, okay? So go through your list, and I'll tell you, you'll be surprised to know many of them have changed their jobs, changed their numbers, their emails, but they're no longer there. Point number 8 is update your info. If you go through your Facebook, LinkedIn, any of your social media, websites where your presence is, have you updated your email address, your passwords, your information, your address, everything else? Have you updated your info? Because if you have not, it shows you don't care about your public image. In my case, let's say even for YouTube, because I didn't update my numbers and I didn't update my address, I had a massive problem when I had to collect my earnings. And I didn't do that for years. I was surprised to know in some places I still kept my old phone number. I still kept my old address, And here's another thing I'd tell you. When I speak to my clients, sometimes I tell them, show me your Facebook, show me your LinkedIn. And I check if someone is tagging you or posting on your wall or, using your name for certain other purposes, you better restrict that. So that is another important thing. Make sure that your info is updated all around, even on LinkedIn. Let's say your CV is there, update that, Then point number 9 is get out of your comfort zone. Almost all of us like to be in it. We like to sleep in the same comfortable room, the bedroom. We like to put on the AC. We have our perfect chair where we sit. So all this is nice, but then sometimes it makes you soft. So once a while it is good. Try doing this. Sleep on the floor. Sleep without an AC for one day. Try eating not so delicious but healthy food. One day, take the stairs and go up the building. I'll tell you, when you try all this, when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, you realize how weak you have become. Like for me, a guy who was running half marathons, because I got in my comfort zone of not doing any exercise, to run again 50 meters was so hard. Oh my goodness. And I was like, what the hell, man? Come on, not again. So that's why I walk in the sun, And I sleep on the floor, and sometimes I sleep without the AC. especially when I go to my wife's village. Make it a point to sleep on the floor, and they just have a fan. That's it. So I try to push my body to get used to that and have bath in like the village. Brush your teeth publicly. You can check my videos. I stayed like a villager, when I go there. Then point number 10. This is a self-introspection kind of exercise. Assess yourself. Okay, January 2019 till now. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. What did you do? What did you do these 12 months? What were your goals? Where did you move? What were the mistakes that you did? What are the good things that you did? What were the high points? Assess the whole fucking year. What were the bad habits that have grown? What are the good habits that have no longer existing? What are some things you need to bring back? Reflect. Because that would give you an understanding where you are, who you are. It's very easy. Just go through your Facebook timeline. You'll get a fair assessment. In your workplace, ask yourself, what is the salaries that you're having right now? When you ask yourself all these questions, where I can hear this water. Okay, someone's cleaning. So, see, there's water. Someone is pouring, you can see. Yeah. So when you assess yourself, you'll know where you're headed. Like this quote is there, an unexamined life is not worth living. So go through your whole year from January until now, and month after month, assess what did you do, what were your goals, where did you move, and where did you reach. 11 is, this one's a good one. Most of the time we see YouTube videos, okay? There is a history that is there. We read articles. Go through your browser on YouTube and have a look at, maybe 300, say 100, not 100, 100 is too less. Say 300, 500 videos. Ask yourself, which channels are you subscribed to? What kind of content are you watching? Because what we fill in our heads is what remains there. Are you just watching news just to feel good about knowing other people's problems? There are some people who just want to know what is happening all over the world, but they don't act on that information. They just like to hear information. That's just reading a newspaper. How does that help you? Are you educating your mind? And educating your mind is not reading books. I was reading like 300 books 300 books a year. I was just reading. But after 3 years non-stop reading, I asked myself, why am I earning the same? I read for 3 years. Means I'm just reading for the hell of reading. I'm not putting into action anything. So I stopped reading. I said, from now I need to put into action. So it's very important to, what is the point? I forgot. It's very important to know what you're reading, what you're watching. So in terms of reading, I said, enough of reading books, I need to do action. But in terms of YouTube videos, I used to watch fighting videos, entertainment videos. I changed over to watching the videos of guys who are in my line of work, my space of work, and technology, because I had to educate myself there. And believe it or not, I really picked up a lot of things. Some of the key guys, I'll give you Dave Lee, then Unbox Therapy, then Linux, I think Linux, something. Okay, MKBHD, then Mr. Big Boss Man or something. So these channels, Boogie 928 something, 9818 or whatever. So after I subscribed to these channels, I learned a lot. In terms of how to broadcast, how to come out with new videos, and it helped my bottom line in terms of earning revenue. So what kind of videos are you watching? What are you putting in your head? Then number 12 is old unproductive habits. Do you have any? If you do, are you aware of them? And if you're aware of them, are you acting on them, or are you the type, oh, I know smoking is bad, I know drinking is bad, and you continue drinking and you continue smoking? In my case, what I do is, whatever is my bad habit, I choose one, just one, and It's not I eliminate that habit, I try to replace that bad habit with something good. Let's say, for example, I love chocolates. Now, obviously, if I stop chocolates, I'll get more desperate for chocolates. So instead of eating a chocolate, I eat something sweet but that is healthy. Let's say yogurt or a fruit. And once that's what I discovered is once that sweet urge is satisfied, you don't feel like eating anymore. So I substituted with yogurt, watermelon, fruits, or sometimes I just realized I was just hungry, So that's another thing. So find out what are your bad habits or unproductive habits. Choose one and work on it. Okay. Then 13. This is what I've been doing lately, which you have been seeing. Take out all your old stuff that you're not using. All your old stuff. Just get rid of it. Whatever is your old stuff. There are plenty of... You know that flip cam that used to be, you just press the red button and it comes on, the flip cam. I realized I had the flip cam. I realized I had a GoPro which I never used. I mean, as I've been digging out things, I found out so many things that shocked me. It's like, shit, I was using this. No, I mean, I had this, but I never used it. So another thing which I would recommend for you to do is dig out all the old stuff that you have that is just simply being hoarded in the house. Get rid of it. Many people just like collecting in their basements. It's no point. Trust me, get rid of it. And if you're in India or places like that where there is dew and mold, it'll just eat up. This happened to me in Bombay. My parents kept our old photographs of childhood. Everything got destroyed by mold. Everything. So that's another one. Sell off what you don't use. Point number 14. This one is powerful. I never thought I would do this, but this is the one that changed my life. For those of you who do not know, I was a Catholic, Roman Catholic, hardcore believer of Jesus. I actually wanted to die for Jesus. I wanted to die for God. That was my goal. I was so crazy about Christianity. One day I asked myself this question: what if I'm wrong? What if Christianity is wrong? What if my religion is wrong? What if there is no Jesus? What if there is no God? And, that was a shocking question. That was like, Loy, how dare you even ask that? Because until then, I was taught that if you dare say anything about God, he'll strike you down. And I did something which nobody in my family approved. You don't believe, they literally kept away from me because they thought God was going to strike me down. And I asked myself, what if Christianity is fake? What if it's not real? What if there was no guy called Jesus? So that was a shocking question at that time for a Bible preacher like me. Then, slowly the question started to come, okay, if I was born in a Muslim family, then I'd be Muslim, right? If I was born in a Hindu family, I'd be Hindu. If I was born in a Buddhist family, I'd be Buddhist. And in every case, I would believe my religion is true. So which one is true? The one that I'm born into. So I was like, oh, okay. So if Loy Machedo was born in a Hindu family, he would say, Krishna, Shiva, Durga is true. If I was born as a Muslim, I would say, Prophet Muhammad is true. So which one is true? So that led me to do research on religion. That led me to question so many things, from the talking snake to Adam and Eve and their belly button, to having a guy born out of nowhere, died nowhere with no evidence. Eventually, after studying how religion started and realized it was a man-made concept, I said, okay, time to abandon ship of believing in some super being. Anyway, whether you believe or you don't believe, that's not important. What is important is question, dare to question and ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? When you do that, like for example, even when I debate with other people, sometimes I ask, what if I was wrong? And I'll tell you, that really makes you think. It helps you grow as an individual. Point number 15 is future proofing. And I think for a person like me who makes a living on social media, who makes a living being online. I think I need to do this more than anyone else. See, because I don't get a salary. I live earning online. It takes a lot of balls. It takes a lot of guts to say that I'm going to earn online. Just think about it. I'm on an island. There's nobody here, and I'm earning online. Can you do that? And if you can do that, how much can you earn? Can you sustain? So it takes a lot. I'll tell you, it takes a lot. So for me, I need to future-proof myself, because YouTube's algorithm changes, Google's algorithm changes, Facebook. People come out with these theories. Oh, I'm a SEO expert. I'm a this expert, that expert. No, you're just jack shit. You think sitting in your small little room, you can predict, read, and understand a company that spends billions, that has the best minds in the world, the best technology. You have broken their code. Come on. Google would have given you $1 billion job if you are that smart. So future-proof. Make sure that you survive, or you'll be useless. Point number 16. Okay, this is cleanliness. I know it's a strange category, but every single day, clean your table, clean your desktop, clean your cell phone, clean all the dust, clean the floor, clean your chair, like you clean yourself. Keep everything perfectly clean. And I'll tell you, and keep everything in order. You'll feel amazing. It's like this Japanese principle, how Toyota does things. You go to any Toyota garage or workplace, everything is in place. Everything is perfectly kept. Everything is well maintained. And that's the reason why they're so effective. Okay? For me, it helps me in productivity. So point number 17 is preventive maintenance. This I learned from my CEO boss. Once a year, what my ex-boss would do, CEO, even if the machines were working properly, he would make sure all the computers were serviced, cleaned, all the machinery was, even if it's working properly, taken apart, cleaned, maintained, and just made sure that it's ready for the next year. So if blades had to be sharpened, they sharpened it, everything. And that ensured that everything would work perfectly for the next year. It prevented breakdown. So that's another amazing thing which he did. So that's something I do. Preventive maintenance. Check your vehicles, check the tires, check your health, check your heater, check your taps, check everything. It helps. Preventive maintenance. Point number 18. The power of one. Develop one new skill for the next year. It'll really help you, because every year don't have the same skills. As you're becoming older, you become less relevant. Case in point, in my younger days, if someone knew PowerPoint, Word, Excel, that was worth mentioning on a CV. I know Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Today, 30 years later, Word, Excel, PowerPoint is what a 9-year-old child knows. I mean, it becomes a joke if you tell someone, I know Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Because there has been a degradation of skill, It's become obsolete. So, yeah, I never thought I would need to learn Final Cut Pro. I would need to learn Photoshop, Illustrator, sound editing. These are the skills I taught myself eventually. Like, I never used the iMac. Never. I never thought I needed to use the iMac. I was comfortable using Windows. But when I moved to iMac, my productivity increased. So, learn a new skill every day, or as you grow older, you'll become irrelevant. For me, I think the new skill I need to learn is learn that language, the Thai language. Not for anything else, but it's going to help me because I have a kid. I need to know writing and reading Thai, Then point number 19, we're coming closer and closer to 20. Point number 19 is, what? I forgot. Create something new. See, I know in majority of the cases, We don't have to. But try this. Try cooking a new dish. Try assembling a PC. Try creating a YouTube video. Try writing a blog. When you try to create something new, what you're doing is using your creative mind cells, your brain cells, and that will teach you it'll teach you how to appreciate what you see. See, it's very easy, for example, very easy for me to criticize, oh, that movie is shit. Okay, try making a movie. Oh, that athlete, he played football like shit or played cricket like shit. Play a game and show. Be in that other person's shoes, and I'll tell you, it really opens your eyes. Like, even for me, raising my child, it has given me a new sense of appreciation what parents do for their children. Phew, it's like even assembling a PC. I know this might sound funny, but I don't know how to assemble a PC. And I've decided to use that as a goal. I want to learn how to assemble a PC because it's technology. I should learn that. So that's another skill I want to learn. Okay. Then last, if not the least, this is a question we all avoid. And I started bringing this question more frequently only after I went for my bariatric surgery. There was a 1% chance I could have died. So I thought to myself, what if I did die? Okay, then what? So what I did is, as I was leaving to get my surgery done, I made sure I did everything as if I was going to die. I told my wife, these are the bank accounts, these are the passwords, this is how you can get access. I want you to sell this if I die. I called up my sister, made peace. I did everything as if I was going to die. In fact, I even announced it on Facebook. I'm going to die. Okay? If I'm going to die, I spoke to my clients, literally spoke to my clients, all my clients, and said, if I die, okay, this is the access for whatever you paid me. I know people found that very strange, but I just mentally prepared myself if in case I was going to die. Fortunately, you can make out I'm not dead. So, but ever since I've told my wife, if I die right now, these are the passwords. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to do next. In so many cases, when people die, the wife or the spouse doesn't have access to bank account or doesn't know what to do next. So that's dangerous. And so yeah, that's 20. Okay. So these are the 20 points that I thought I'd share with you. 20 points for the year 2020. Which one did you like? You let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And yeah, I read your comments. I always do, good, bad, ugly. Let me know which is the one that you really liked in all this, which is the one that you try. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. And I hope you're enjoying the series, guys. I just hope you're enjoying the series. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of it? And do give some support to the channel if you can, whichever way you can, you know best. So I hope this video added some value. Take care.